Two things are gonna happen today. I'm gonna share some of the best new mobile games, and I'll give away 10 keys for a really cool game at the end of the video. So, I've got 4 games that I've played myself, 2 games that were covered on Mina Review, and 6 new games I haven't tried yet, but that look really awesome. And one of those games is Brotato, which is a new reverse bullet hell, or bullet heaven game that released just a few weeks ago, and it just looks fantastic. It's published by the same team that also published 20 Minutes Till Dawn, which is, by the way, another great alternative to Vampire Survivors or Magic Survival. And the price is only $3.49 for the premium version, but there's also a free ad-supported version. Mighty Doom also released, and I don't know why they went with such a cute art style for this game, but the only thing really Doom-ish about this game is the name of the game. It's still a really good Archero alternative though, so it might be worth checking out. And on February 25th, we also got Tacape, which is a deck builder card game mixed with some roguelike elements. 100 cards, 25 enemies, it sounds like just my type of game. We'll get back to more of those new games soon again, but one of the games I did actually play recently is Mario Kart. Or, KartRider Drift. And to my big surprise, this is actually a really high quality cross-platform kart racer. So some of what I really liked about KartRider Drift is that it has a decent amount of game modes that can be played solo or in teams or even custom lobbies with only friends. The gold we earn from winning races can only be spent on cosmetic characters, vehicles and parts for our vehicles, none of which has any impact on the gameplay. And the touch controls actually work well, and there's even Bluetooth controller support. On the flip side, the biggest negative here is that I did experience a few desync issues here and there, but nothing that really ruined the game for me. It takes up 2.2 GB of space on your phone, and because there is no pay to win, which is surprising since the game is published by Nexon, it's definitely worth checking out. For now at least. Now, in mid-January, we also got what I consider to be the best skateboarding game to release on mobile this year, called Perfect Grind. The maps in Perfect Grind aren't exactly as big as in the good old Tony Hawk skating games, and shout out, by the way, to anyone who played those on PlayStation back in the day, but we do have some of that same freedom to just skate around and perform tricks, and there's even a level editor, so we can make our own little skate park. What really makes the game great though is that the controls are done right. Our character basically skates forward automatically, and we just focus on steering, jumping, and using swipe and hold gestures to grind, perform tricks in air, and execute other special moves. The game is free to try with a $3 in-app purchase to unlock the full game, and it only takes up 238 MB of space. It is without a doubt the best skateboarding game I've played on mobile, so it's an easy recommendation. We also got one of the absolute best Metroidvania action platformers not long ago, called Haak. It's one of the games that were covered on my games discovery platform Mina Review recently, and it's just awesome. So in the game, we're basically on a journey to solve puzzles, collect coins, improve our stats, and interact with the inhabitants we meet. But we also quickly obtain a power glove that lets us slash enemies and shoot grappling hooks, and that's when the game really starts taking off. Haak is definitely best enjoyed with a Bluetooth controller, but the touch controls are also decent, so if you've got $8 to spare, this is just a masterpiece. A lot of the same can also be said about Afterplace, by the way, which pretty much everyone seems to agree is one of the best indie RPG action-adventure games to release recently. I think what really got people hooked on this one is that there's no real narrative or objective in the game. We just have to explore on our own while dealing with doctors selling drugs, ancient ruins guarded by killer robots, and even vending machines that attack us. The game does have an ending though, and along the way we also fight enemies, buy better gear, discover secret areas, and all the other usual RPG stuff. So if you like casual adventure RPGs, this is a great $7 premium game. We'll get to a really great 3D third-person RPG in a bit, but first, here's a few more of those rapid-fire brand new games, because on January 15th, Madness Endless also released. I haven't played this one yet, but I just love the idea of a dark stealth action game, and the unique controls is really what makes it stand out, so I'm very much looking forward to get into the game, hopefully next week. If you like those good old simple platforming games, I also noticed that the developers of Duke Dashington and Total Party Kill released a new free-to-play game called Poor Bunny not long ago, and I think you might like it. And then Limbus Company also released by the end of February. Yes, it's a gacha game, but it scored a 9 out of 10 on Steam, so if you like turn-based tactical games, this might actually be really interesting. Now, listen, I have a confession to make. I know this next one isn't exactly brand new anymore, but I just started playing Dungeon Ward a few weeks ago, and if you like Moonshades, I think you're gonna love this one. It is essentially a third-person old-school 3D RPG with real-time combat, grid-based movement, and dungeons full of powerful monsters and dangerous traps. You can play as either an archer, mage, or warrior, and the core gameplay loop has us get a new quest from our camp, and then venture into the deadly dungeons. and then repeat that. There's a decent amount of character customization, and the loot we equip actually shows up on our character, which should be the norm, but it just isn't in most mobile RPGs. And the customizable controls work well as well. The game is free to download and play, and there are only very few in-app purchases for more premium currency, and then an incentivized ad after completing a dungeon. So the free-to-play experience is great in this one, as we don't need any of those. But hey, if you're looking for something a bit more arcade-ish instead of these dark and serious RPGs, you might also want to check out Punch, Kick, Duck, which is a fun little action fighting game where we either have to, well, you probably guessed it already, punch, kick, or duck depending on the type of enemy we're facing. You're not gonna play this game for hours on end, but it is some quick, casual, arcade-ish fun, and it's free to play with just a single $2 in-app purchase to remove the ads from the game. But now, my friends, it's giveaway time, because I reached out to the indie developer behind the awesome turn-based RPG Pixelot a few weeks ago. This is not a sponsorship, but I just reached out asking for 5 keys to give away to you guys, and he actually sent me 10 keys back. So to win one of these keys, all you have to do is reply to my latest tweet that I've linked down below using the word pixel, and the first 10 replies that have the word pixel in it gets one. I really do wish we could do this via YouTube, but there's no way to send a private message to you guys, so we'll have to use Twitter. But what do you think about these games and this new and improved version of the 4 best games of the week video series? Let me know down below, and check out this video next for the 15 very best Netflix games that are actually worth playing. I'll see you guys there.